this Newcastle lineup, and he's got a lot of responsibility there, but seems to be handling very well, as is this man, Sean Rudder, who taking over a very important position, the halfback spot. He's been going very well, and he's just starting to strike up a very good combination with Matthew Gidley. And I guess the unfortunate thing is they might start to get a very good combination going, and Andrew Johns will be back, but that's something that the case may be too disappointed with.
The Northern Eagles head on to North Power Stadium. The fireworks going off in the background here in Gosford on a very chilly night. Plenty of support here for the home crowd. Adam Muir, what a week it's been for him, up against his former club. He's been in pretty good form as the fireworks continue here in Gosford.
The real workhorse, Adam Muir. And I think it's his skill and ability in attack that probably disguises the work that he gets through in defence. Punishing defender. A lot of people probably say that he may have been a little bit lucky to get away with last week's, but Gordon Tallis was the man that stood up, said no, there was nothing wrong with it. He got me high up in the chest. And like a big fella like Gordon over, I understand the power that's involved in these tackles.
Stephen Clark is tonight's first-grade referee. Just a problem with the ball there. Just changed the ball. The ball was a little bit flat. Brett Camorley asked for it to be changed. So we have a new ball out there to start the game. Stephen Clark, man in charge. And what a week it's been for Brett Camorley. Plenty of headlines, but for all the wrong reasons. The two number 7s up against each other. Sean Rudder and Brett Camorley. Promises to be a very physical game here at North Power Stadium, and we're underway. The Knights running from left to right on your screen. And what about the return there from Glenn Grief? He's been wound up and let go right from the start. He's over the 20. Is the captain, Billy Peden. First set of the night. Parsons now for the Knights. Is it Menzies? He makes the tackle. The Eagles chant goes up. It's Ben Kennedy now has his first hit up. Vidaris. Here's Gidley with the kick off the left foot. It's a pretty good one as well. Backspin on it, like a wedge into the green. And Beckett was able to pick it up. Andrew King now for the Eagles. Through the tackle of Grief. Unable to get past Rudder. And Steve Simpson. O'Mealy now. Straight ahead. 10 short of the halfway line. Eagles into the field. No real breeze to speak of in Gosford tonight. If any, it will be favouring Newcastle slightly in the first half. First penalty. Matthew Gidley penalised inside the 10. Quick kick for touch by Brett Camorley. So the Eagles with a golden opportunity early in the game.
Let's go, Eagles.
O'Mealy again with another hit up.
Team up, boys. I can hardly hear anyone, please.
Here's Camorley. Now it's Stringer. At the moment, Stephen Clark saying he can't hear anyone in his ear, so he's got no assistance at the moment. As the ball goes to McDougall, that being Ben, he was almost through the tackle. They're only 5 out now. 2 tackles remaining. 2 Viet acting half. Walker. Here's Camorley. Where are the runners? Inside O'Mealy from a standing start. And the tackle had to be made by Badiris. Last tackle. Camorley, short side, grubber kick. Beckett chasing. Hughes watches it go over the dead ball line. Great composure and a 20-metre restart.
And also great positional play, Mark. We watched that. Had a look where Camorley was going to place himself, covered both sides of the ruck, got in a great position to be able to shepherd the ball over the line.
First real test for the night for the Newcastle Knights, and they answered the challenge. And already they've got the ball back to 10 short of halfway. Parsons. Running at little Camorley, but around the legs was Menzies. Had to give the penalty away.
I'd called it. Like you pushed him over.
Just had his leg wrapped around there. Just trying to slow the play down, and now it gives the Knights a golden opportunity. Parsons once again. Here's Grief. over the 20-metre line. Menzies doing a lot of defensive work early in the game. And the Newcastle chant goes up at Gosford. Now Kennedy almost through. Tackle had to be made there by Ben Walker. Did he lose it? Penalty.
The hand out. Shot at goal.
They're going to take the 2 points on offer. Billy Peaton, the captain. Here's Adam Muir with the hand on the ball. There's no doubt about that. Just trying to slow that play down again. That was pretty obvious.
Yeah, he might have only been going a couple of minutes in this game, but well, there hasn't been a lot of positional advantage going on in the game. One thing that really does stand out is the speed of the both teams at the moment. Newcastle's ability to be able to get to their feet and play the ball quickly and keep the Northern Eagles' defence on the back foot really is standing out.
Billy Peaton, his first shot at goal tonight is a success. And so the Knights have started the scoring at North Power Stadium. They lead by 2 points to 0. We've had 4.5 minutes. So the first opportunity into Northern Eagles territory. They've come up with points on the scoreboard. Ben Walker to restart play. Good crowd. Plenty of support for Newcastle. Just a short trip down the freeway. Here's Grief again. Up to the 20-metre line before being met by Stringer. Offload. Out the back to Hughes. And he's tackled 30 out from his own line. Peaton. Now it's Gidley. Quick hands. McDougall. That being Adam for Newcastle. Gets the ball out the back there to Darren Albert. Knights looking dangerous as they go wide. Couple short of halfway. Here's Gidley again inside to Parsons. He's really growing into this 5'8" role, Matthew Gidley. Here's Rudder. Long ball. Nice bounce there. Justin Ryder on the far side of the field. 9 metres into Eagles territory. Kennedy now goes back down the short side. Going towards touch. He just manages to stay in. Robert Miles over there. Now Peaton. That's a high kick. It's going to go dead. It goes over the dead ball line on the foot. It was taken anyway. It was a very high kick. There's Lenny Beckett. Jigging and weaving. Menzies. One of the front rowers to do the work. O'Mealy coming over now. Tuvey screaming for a penalty. Here's O'Mealy. What about the tackle there from Grief? Big hit. Muir. Here's Reeves. Up the middle of the ruck. Badiris grabs him by the leg and knocks him down. Here's Tuvey. Evans now. Gidley and Badiris there to make the tackle for the Knights. Last tackle here for the Northern Eagles. Ben Walker. Will he run or kick? Kicks after running, and it wasn't the best of kicks. Here's Mark Hughes now. From fullback, trying to take the load off his front rowers. And here's Glenn Grief. Gidley. Penalty.
Number 11, never on. Never on. I called him out.
Well, I couldn't agree with referee Stephen Clark more there. He must have said 3 or 4 times, stay out of it, 11, stay out of it. You can see him pointing to him at one stage, pleading with him to come out. He didn't, went into the tackle after it looked like he was quite comfortably covered by Stephen Menzies. That really is putting undue pressure on your side. 4 tackles in against the Knights, and you're giving away 30 metres and another 6.
Parsons. He's lost the ball there. Referee Stephen Clark's picked it up. And it was the man that gave away the penalty, Wayne Evans. Or Phil Bailey, I should say, that came up with a mistake. Forced the mistake, I should say.
Keep it in, Billy.
From Matt Parsons.
Yep, when you're ready, Brett.
King,
That's one.
31 metres out from the Eagles line, right in centre field. So Reeves has a run from acting half, gets a good offload. Back to King, and he's up to the halfway line.
Back in, Knight.
O'Mealy now. On a bit of a roll here, the Eagles. Here's String up. Here's a penalty. What do they do here, the Eagles?
Can I go? Can I go, boys?
Going for the 2 points, 30 metres out, almost in front with the NRL's leading point scorer. You might as well take the 2 on offer.
Well, you might as well, but Mark, I've got to say the referee's been very consistent here with his rulings, but let's hope that the players do start to listen to what he's saying and get back, because the game, I think, has got a potential of being very exciting. Both sides like to throw the ball around. They like quick play the balls. They've all got players that can unload footballs in tackles, and if they keep this up with consistent penalties all the time inside the 10, stop starting, it's ruining what could be a very good game.
And both teams realise the strength of each other and paying respects to that. Their ability to keep the ball in a rolling motion is what has brought a lot of success to both teams so far this season. Obviously trying to negate as much as they possibly can.
He struck it pretty well, Ben Walker. He had the distance, and he's got the 2 points. More importantly, the direction. Mark Carroll. That looks like John Hopewade in the background as well, watching the Northern Eagles. 2-2 at North Power Stadium as Rudder restarts play. Stringer brings it back for the Northern Eagles. 2-2 the score. He plays it 20 out. This is Bailey. Parsons went up a little bit high after initial contact was around the shoulder. Crowd murmured a little bit. The referee took no notice. Been strong in the early stages. 10 gone. Mark O'Mealy playing very strongly. That was his 6th hit up in 10 minutes. It's Adam Muir now. 2 short of the halfway line. Kamali with an early kick. Albert's back there, and Mark Hughes. And the chase is pretty good. Now McDougall. And Bailey there to make the tackle with the man that kicked it, Brett Kamali. Hughes now. 23 metres out from his own line. The Knights bring it forward through Simpson. 2 11s collide. Bailey and Simpson. Tuvey there to assist. Push it wide, and Rudder's knocked it on. He won't be able to pick it up, and so the Knights have lost possession and given the Eagles great field position as O'Mealy takes it forward. They're 25 metres out. Can they take advantage? Kamali. Andrew King, tackled by McDougall. He was around the legs. Bailey. Back to Tuvey. Solid work there from Adam McDougall again. Beckett. Kamali. Here's Stringer with the offload to Walker. Cut out ball. It's over the head of McDougall. Fallen nicely for Robert Miles. And he's only 10 metres out. Kamali now. Where's the runners? Menzies back on the inside. He's 8 metres out. They've got 2 tackles left here, the Eagles. The defence holding for Newcastle. Kamali off the foot of Kennedy in the in-goal. Riders there. They get a goal line drop out and a restart, so they'll get possession back.
Oh, a lot to admire from both teams in that passage of play. The way that the Northern Eagles finished it off. Plenty of players making themselves available to Kamali every time he's running the ball, and also Ben Walker. But I had to really applaud the Newcastle Knights. They were in strife a couple of times. They looked like that they were straining, but when you had a look, they were covering right across the field. It was impossible for the Eagles to get outside them, even with the strength of Brett Kamali's pass.
Perfect completion rate at the moment for the Northern Eagles, 6 from 6. This is set number 7 for them, as Phil Bailey now is tackled. 12 metres short of the goal line. They come left. Kamali. Menzies there. Into half again. Reeves was on his outside. Quick play the ball. Now it comes from Kamali. Muir had the leap. Back to Kamali. Kicks for his own advantage, but Kennedy read it well and offloaded to Ryder, and he's going to get back in the field of play. Well, there's confidence for you. And great effort from Justin Ryder.
who's done very well so far, Justin Ryder. When the Eagles actually had the ball in their previous set of 6, sorry, and they threw the long pass out, Justin Ryder had 2 men to covered them very well.
There's a solid tackle. The ball's come free, and Beckett's come up with possession for the Northern Eagles. So there's another mistake, this time by Simpson.
O'Mealy and Menzies, the men in that tackle.
As the Knights have made 3 errors so far, the Eagles have had a pretty good start to the game. 30 metres out. Bailey. It's tackle number 3. Kamali. Walker tries to get around Simpson but can't. Defence holds once again from Newcastle. They've been under enormous pressure in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Stringer now runs it. Parsons, ball on the ground, went backwards. Now Tuvey, Walker. The defence reading it well. Kamali, offload there to Muir. He offloads again. O'Mealy back to Stringer. He goes forward. It's past Parsons. He brings him to ground. Here's the last tackle. Walker, grab a kick. In goal area. King try. They've finally turned possession into points. He goes to the touch judge. And points to the spot. And the Northern Eagles have scored the first try. Andrew King, and it's 6-2.
Relentless pressure from the Northern Eagles. The ball came about, of course, by a mistake, a turnover in possession. Clever kick from Ben Walker, but great positional play. Andrew King, the man getting outside, running in. Brett, just running out of steam, I think, the Knights.
Well, sheer weight of possession, but we gave Mark Hughes a bit of a rap earlier on for the way he was able to read the play and watch the ball go over the dead ball line, but I think he was back a bit too deep in that instance, and Andrew King, to his credit, was able to get to the ball first. But I do think that Mark Hughes was back a little bit too deep.
Well, I think there'd be a little bit of communication going on in the Newcastle camp at the moment, but Michael Hagan, as coach, I don't think would be wanting to scare his players too much. He wouldn't be trying to lay down the law too much. He'd be reminding them, of course, that they've been parked in this area of the football field for the vast majority of the 16 minutes the game's been underway. He knows that it's just that one last error where the ball was turned over in possession that's put them back under the hammer. The previous times they seem to be covering everything the Northern Eagles could throw at them. What they've got to try and do from here is to be able to put some pressure on the early rucks from the Northern Eagles and try and force a mistake and get down the other end of the football field to launch their own attack.
I guess the positives for the Knights is the fact that the Eagles haven't been able to score a try without resulting in the kicks.
There's the conversion attempt, just drifting at the end. For a minute it might have gone over the upright. The score here at North Power Stadium, the Northern Eagles 6, the Newcastle Knights 2.
We've got to agree with Brett. They had a little bit of trouble in busting them with just their regulation and tack, but what the kick will do and the amount of times that he and Brett Kamali have used it will create a little bit of doubt in the mind of the Newcastle Knights. Backs out a little bit wide. They're not going to be able to come up quite as quickly as they would have for fear that the ball will get dropped in behind them on the boot.
5 of their 6 kicks tonight have been grubbers for the Eagles. Only one long kick from Brett Kamali, so they are keeping the ball on the ground. Muir, it's up to the 40-metre line, now 38 out from the Knights line. It's been an impressive start from the Northern Eagles. They've had plenty of possession. Walker throws the dummy. He had Brendan Rees on him, Brett Kamali, I should say, and he's outside into a yawning gap. Last tackle, Kamali now. Torpedo bomb. Turns into Walbley. One come forward. Hughes does remarkably well because that ball seemed to float further and further away from him and had no real consistent spiral to it in the end as Albert runs from acting half. Hughes. He's 35 metres out. As we see the possession at the moment, the Eagles dominating 63%. The Newcastle Knights just the 37. And get the ball towards halfway. They're only into the Eagles' territory for about the second time tonight. We've had 18 minutes of play. Last tackle. Rudder now with the kick. Who puts the torpedo bomb? It's not a bad one. Lenny Beckett under it. Did he lose it? He did. Well, how'd you like to be under those for a living?
Well, the football's almost getting nosebleeds. They're going that high. But it's a great skill in rugby league these days. You've got to be able to compete with your opposition. And when you've got a man like Brett Camorley on the other side of the field, you've got to be able to come up with a comparable kicking game. This one certainly was. He got himself into a pretty good position, Lenny Beckett. The ball twisted and turned. In the end, I think he was just glad the ball came down.
Hang on.
The best attacking
Let him get it in.
position for the night so far in the match.
First error of the night for the Eagles. Will it prove costly? Tamana Tahu, first touch. On the ground, penalty. Well, offside from the scrum. Don't often see a differential penalty. Obviously keen to try and get up there and stop the Knights. They take a quick tap. Can't take the kick for goal, being a differential. So they're 5 metres out, right in front of the post. Here's Rudder. Ball to McDougall. Albert. The defence slides. They grab it and bring him to ground. Just a couple of metres out. Simpson now. He's forced across the field. Good defence there from the Northern Eagles. Tuvey in there, but so too O'Mealy and Walker. Now it comes from Rudder. Gidley, where are the runners? There's Hughes. Walker with the tackle. Great ball to Tamana Tahu. And he has scored the try. He can score a try, Tamana, but what about the ball from Mark Hughes? And that error has proved costly for the Northern Eagles. We're all locked up at Gosford.
Yeah, it was a great transition to the left-hand side of the field. And they had it pretty well covered, it appeared, the slide defence of the Northern Eagles. Ben Walker, McDougall and Adam Muir all got across. They realised that there's a fair bit of talent on that left-hand attacking side of the field for the Knights. Just have a look at their calling. They're nominating who's got who. On the way through goes Mark Hughes, a very short ball, and that's the pass that really caused a lot of trouble for Adam Muir. He went sprinting back, complaining to the referee, and said that it was a mile forward. On the angle, Brett, I think he probably had something to complain about.
Well, I think he did, but I guess from that angle there that we just saw, it's very difficult to make a ruling. But I think, as you said, the defence was very good. They slid, they got themselves into a good position, but unfortunately they just didn't move up onto Mark Hughes, and he was able to get one arm free, and that was a magnificent pass to Tamanu Tahu. And when you come up against a side like Newcastle, you can't afford to make too many mistakes, otherwise they'll make you pay dearly.
2 drop balls, 2 tries.
Billy Peden now with the conversion attempt. Straight between the posts. The Knights now in front by 8 points to 6. No worries for Newcastle. While that conversion attempt was being taken, you see Adam McDougall there. That right hand has just been strapped. He's spoken to the doctor, and he is in a bit of trouble. I'm not sure whether it's the thumb or the hand. While the try was being scored, the doctor looked at him. He's just had it strapped. He's going to continue, but that could be a bit of a worry for the Newcastle Knights when you consider Robbie O'Davis is playing this game with a busted thumb. If another one of their key players is in strife, it could be disastrous. As play gets underway again, with the Knights now in front by 2.
Wait here, wait. Now.
Parsons has made a mistake. He's not happy about it, and the Eagles letting him know.
Yeah, pretty simple one. The mood he's in at the moment. You'd hate to be the hooker on the Newcastle team. Danny Badiris at the moment. Looks like he'll wrap his arm around him and just about break his ribs.
Here's Walker running across field. Pushes away, does he, from Gidley? Yes, he does. But the tackle was made by Darren Albert. They're 15 out. The Eagles, can they hit back? O'Mealy, what about the tackle from Parsons? The offload comes to Camorley. Now it's with Menzies. He accelerates. There's Reeves with him. Takes the tackle. That's 2. Camorley now, dummying, going himself. Kennedy, Simpson, wrap him up. They're 5 out. Penalty.
Get it up. You get it up.
They take the 2 points here. 17 minutes out from half-time. And this will level it up. They lead by 2 here, Newcastle, and there's the penalty once again. And he does like to give a penalty for an infringement in the play the ball, Stephen Clark. Over 41% of his penalties are for holding down. And we've got another problem with the football. Let's just hit him straight on the microphone.
Well, there's more in the change rooms. We'll change them enough time.
Here's Adam McDougall still getting attention to that hand.
Whoever's over on the sideline there.
About 18 metres out. About 18 in from the far touchline. Player of a goal kicker of the calibre of Ben Walker. You would expect him to kick this, but Stephen Clark just asking the ground manager to get a couple of more footballs. A few problems. There's nothing wrong with this one at the moment.
Unless, of course, he misses a goal.
He doesn't. And so we're level again at North Power Stadium in Gosford. It's the Eagles and the Knights locked at 8-all with the restart. As the Eagles bring the ball back through Paul Stringer. He was offside. Badiris there, called out of it as the marker. Robbie Davis getting set to come on for the Newcastle Knights. Just said that right hand was strapped, that thumb. Is now O'Mealy. Takes it 9 short of the halfway line. Muir to the halfway and over by a couple of metres. He's in trouble too. Adam Muir copped a solid tackle. He's staggering in back play. Here's Kamali. Kick for touch. Will it find it? It does. And the last player to this scrum will be Adam Muir. He was nailed in that tackle. Kamali clapping, rousing his troops. Made all the score. And Adam Muir is taking his time getting to the scrum.
Yeah, Mark, I think he injured possibly his leg, because when he came out of the tackle, it's almost like he tried to stretch, but it looks like he might have copped an elbow there to the...
I think maybe his head.
And the head's gone straight back down into the ground.
There's the scrum win for the Knights. Tamana Tahu just doesn't get the ball enough for a player of his class. He can score a try. That's only the third time he's touched it. He lose the ball again, Parsons. No, says the referee.
Mark, I've got to say, when you're watching the games, a lot of the back lines from scrum plays in particular, no one seems to put any set plays on anymore, and to my way of thinking, that's the best time to do it, because you're only up against the opposition back line. There's no forwards involved.
He lost it. He lost it.
It was Ben Kennedy making the mistake. It's their 5th error in the game for Newcastle.
Both sets in there. Second row is locked. Get in there. Come on.
I think that one might have got a little bit of assistance along the way. Ben Walker's hand just straying in.
McDougall, Ben.
That's one.
Robbie Davis makes his way to the touchline to make that interchange we alluded to before. 30 metres out now. Bailey. Here's Danny Lima for the Northern Eagles. Offloads the ball. It's on the ground. They've run into each other, Tuvey and Kamali, and that's a knock-on.
Last one, the very last one. Everyone was back except the very last one. I let it come off your hands forward, even though you're facing the other way. Just wait for the ball, boys. Bind in there, keep it in.
Kidley. Paul Marquette coming on for Glenn Grief. Josh Perry also out there into the fray. Front rowers getting a bit of a rest for the Newcastle side. It's Paul Stringer sitting down too for the Northern Eagles. The only front rower still out there, Mark O'Mealy, as Paul Marquette is tackled right on the halfway line. Badiris goes the short side. There's a kick from Tamana Tahu. Not the best of kicks. Reeves takes it. Running across field. Runner makes the tackle. Robbie O'Davis back to fullback for Newcastle. Justin Ryder having a spell. Mark Hughes has gone to the wing. Here's Lima. Tuvey. Now Kamali on the inside to Muir. He's hit solidly. There's Mark O'Mealy having a spell. Here's Kamali. Flat ball. King. Past McDougall. Here's a chance for the Eagles. He's kicked the ball. He had an unmarked Lenny Becker on his outside. O'Davis made the tackle. Kamali now. Walker. Menzies. Intercept on. Tahu's knocked it back. It's gone to Kennedy. He won't have the pace. Where's Tamana? He's in support but can't get the ball. Well, they've bombed a certain four-pointer, the Eagles, and they may pay a dear price.
There wasn't one man left over. There was a two-man overlap. That was extremely poor play. He should have headed back infield, taken the fullback out of play. A tip-on would have guaranteed them at least 4 points.
Forward pass from acting half. Called by the touch judge, Rod Lawrence, on the far side. Billy Peden can't believe it.
Hey? Play on. I didn't think it did. Where I was standing, I didn't think it did. Come off his head, apparently.
King.
Well, Brett King was in open spaces there. Well, all he had to do was throw it.
Well, I mean, you've got a guy like Lenny Beckett on the outside. You don't have to draw the fullback too much. You don't have to draw him in too close. And I think, as you mentioned, Mark, he went too far with the football. But the Northern Eagles were guilty of this same thing last week against Brisbane Broncos. They had opportunities to score tries, and
outside leg up, it's got to go in front of it.
They butchered every opportunity.
Reeves now. Fortunate there. The Eagles. There's Wayne Evans on for Mark O'Mealy. Here he is with the ball now. 25 metres out. Getting a bit of a roll here, the Eagles. Middle of the ruck. Now Kamali. Reeves on his inside. Away from two. Back to Evans. Got Bailey there. Moves himself and takes the tackle. Kamali. Menzies tries to get on the outside of Tahu. Has Ben McDougall on his outside and takes the tackle. Last tackle. The Eagles. They're 10 out. Kamali. Grubber kick again. Here's a chance. Walker, can he get there? No. Danny Lima has and scored the try. We're going to the video ref.
Hey, I want to check the onside, and there might have the Newcastle player in the end goal who went for the ball. He went up for it. He got a little bit of a bump from an Eagles player. It may have been an accident, but can you check that for me?
Robbie O'Davis was the player, I'm sure, that jumped up for the ball. There was great contest going on for it. But once again, a Northern Eagles possible try coming from the boot of the man regarded as the best in the business. No problems whatsoever with being onside. He's okay there. Boy, you've got to probably say that that's a brilliant kick. Mark Hughes was, Robbie O'Davis was in very good position. And looking at that one, I think you've got to say that Ben Walker was simply involved trying to get to the ball. There didn't look to be any intentional taking out. I'll let the video replay do his own work and make his own judgment on that one. But it looked to be fair competition.
Well, it was a very good kick, but geez, it was an awful bounce for Robbie O'Davis. As you say, he was in perfect position. And there was no problems with Ben Walker. He was just competing to get the football, but geez, the bounce, it's that football for you. It just takes some awkward bounces at times. Robbie O'Davis, not the tallest of men. So I think you'll find this will come up with a green light.
No doubt about it in my mind. That's a try. Peter Filmer, the video referee, and this will be the first career try for Danny Lima. He's yet to score a 4-pointer. And here's the decision. From Peter Filmer, no doubt in my mind that it's a try. And there it is, the Northern Eagles. The scoreboard already had it, they were sure. I had no doubt, it's 12 points to 8. And that kick again, keeping it on the ground, and the football can bounce in such an awkward fashion. The chase was good from Walker.
Yeah, that's what makes a very good kick. We said the kick was an outstanding one, but it was the chase that made it exceptional.
And even better, it also got within two other players that I didn't notice on the first replay. Danny Badiris was one, and I think it may have been Steve Simpson, the other, that Kamali had to thread the ball between to get it towards the goalpost.
No problems with the conversion for Ben Walker. So it's now a 6-point lead for the Northern Eagles. 8 minutes out from half-time. It's 14 points to 8. Second half last week against the Broncos.
Yes, exactly. They have a tendency to drop away in the second half. But I think that the Newcastle Knights, their biggest problem is themselves. They're making too many unforced errors and putting themselves under too much pressure. And while I mentioned before that it was testimony to their defence that the Northern Eagles have had to revert to the kicking game to come up with 4 pointers, it doesn't always help you on the scoreboard.
Evans now. Solid tackle there from Marquette. Kennedy in there also. Here's Lima. There's a Badiris. Makes the tackle with the assistance of Julian Bailey. Tuvey. Inside to Menzies. No room there. Last tackle for the Eagles. 5 short of halfway. So Kamali with a kick. Under pressure, gets it away. Straight down the middle of the field. Davis was over to his right. Has to go left. McDougall. He's tackled 29 out from his own line. He's over his brother's side. Tamana Tahu has come over to the right-hand centre. Here's Marquette. Ran into a brick wall in the name of Greg Ebrell, who turned 22 yesterday. Josh Perry. Gidley. Ordinary pass, but well picked up by Kennedy. Last tackle here for Newcastle. Rudder throws it to Hughes. He chips over the top. Miles is back there. Does well back to Reeves. Under pressure. Well done, Robert Miles. He had Adam McDougall breathing down his neck, who would have more than likely put him into touch. Just tap the ball on. Well done. And here he is again. Right in out from their own line here, the Eagles. Menzies. He's 15 short of halfway. Last tackle. As Evans plays it. Kamali with the kick. Look at the chest of Adam McDougall. What can he do here? Finds O. Davis. And there's a big tackle from Bailey. McDougall up the middle of the ruck.
Hey.
Adam Muir there talking to the referee. I think he was asking for a shepherd. Clark says no. Here's Hughes. Tuvey throwing his arms around there. Last tackle. Was it 4? Must have been 4. Now Kennedy. It's not been kicking if it wasn't. Now Grief. Hands alive here. Runner inside. Overran the ball there, Gidley, to O. Davis. And McDougall comes up with a tackle. This is 5. Now it comes from Gidley. Rudder. Cuts out Tahu. Albert with the kick. Menzies back there. He's lost it. Gets it again. Loses it again. And gets it back. A metre out from the line. They had an opportunity back there, the Knights, but Matthew Gidley just seemed to overrun the pass. There was no way it could be turned on the inside. Very quickly, Marquette there to put pressure. Mark O'Mealy, who's back out. Wayne Evans now. He's thrown the ball away straight to the Newcastle Knights. And Badiris has come up with possession. This is danger time just before half-time. Albert inside Kamali, and they pay dearly. Darren Albert has scored in the corner. 3.5 out from half-time, and the Knights are back to within 2.
Well, coming against the run of play, Adam Muir being called out by the referee at the moment.
Okay.
Here's the incident.
You can express it. If I express it to you like that, mate, you wouldn't like it.
In which the turnover happened. A couple of men in the tackle. Had no cause for complaint. It was just an attempt to pass the football that created the error. But once again, real problems with the defence. We've spoken about it before the game and during the course of this first half. No communication apparent wide out in their defence, Brett.
Yeah, they had plenty of guys out there, and of course, I think you'll see the Northern Eagles had 2 players come in on one of the Knights players, and of course, giving the ball to this man, Darren Albert. He's got plenty of speed, and I guess Brett Camorley come across a little bit too quick, obviously realising he had to get there. And Darren Albert, very smart, stepped back on the inside, just had too much pace for the cover defence. But again, as we've seen all throughout this game, the team makes a mistake, they get punished.
Absolutely. And as we've seen so many times, a try in the last few minutes before half-time. This team's Tyree Moore with the limited interchange is Billy Peden from touch. Out to the right. And so with 2 minutes of play remaining until half-time, it's the Northern Eagles by 2, 14-12 over the Newcastle Knights. As Brett Kenny said, if you make a mistake tonight, you're going to pay for it. As every team...
Let's stay, boys!
Every team's tries have come from errors from the opposition. Ben Walker just slowing it down inside the final 2 before half-time.
I just don't think he's going to be able to slow it down long enough.
No, 90 seconds to go. More sand than ball there too, and so the Knights through Marquette back at the 20 from the restart. It was a good chase from O'Mealy, who's been very strong tonight.
2! Marcus straight, boys, Marcus straight!
Gidley. Here's Bailey.
3!
They won't want to let another try through here, the Eagles, in this final 70 seconds, 60 seconds. They've got 2 tackles here, the Knights. Gidley with the kick. Nice bounce there for Beckett.
That's 1!
So he's tackled 25 out.
Marcus straight!
Walker, I thought he was going to pass then. That would have been danger. Inside 30-metre line. 30 seconds out from half-time. Trying to slow down there, and also wanting a penalty as Robert Miles takes the ball towards the halfway line. They're over halfway now, the Eagles. Strong run from Stringer. Here's Camorley. Good ball to King into open space again, but Albert makes the tackle. Beckett on his outside. The ball's come free. Referee says play on. Camorley into space. Back on the inside was nobody bar the number 17 Perry, and he had 3 players on his right. Quick play the ball. There's the half-time siren penalty.
Playing an advantage. Robbie O'Davis pushed him over after he played the ball. Robbie O'Davis has pushed him over after he played the ball. I waited to see if I got any advantage out of it, got none, so I had to come back for the penalty. Yeah, mate, he pushed him flat on his back.
Well, there's a gift 2 points right on half-time for Ben Walker. He's still slowing play down, but he doesn't realise the siren's gone. We don't have to anymore.
Yeah, I tell you what, they probably... I don't think they'd mind giving away 2 points at that occasion. Newcastle, they knew they were right under the hammer. I thought that there were 2 tries that actually went begging. There looked to be one on the left-hand side. Kings had a little bit of trouble tipping possession on pretty quickly in desperate situations. And I also thought once Camorley got into open spaces, there was a chance for him if he could have been able to shift the ball wide. A lot of the Newcastle defence had desperately come in to chase him. McDougall was one of them and left pretty barren defensive line out on their left-hand side. Camorley's right-hand pass, unfortunately, he just didn't get to see them.
And on half-time, 2 further points added for the Northern Eagle.
Otherwise, if you don't, you run the risk.
Jeff Tooby.
I don't know whether either captain's all that keen to run around. I'm sure that for Newcastle, it wouldn't be much of a problem for Billy Peden. They're all standing on the halfway line. But Jeff Tooby to be able to do it, he's got to cover around about 3/4 of an acre. I don't know that he wants to be able to do that. He'll probably yell out and say, pass it on.
Obviously, Stephen Clark being told by the video ref and his coach here, Peter Filmer, or Peter Louis, who's in the box next door. There's a problem there, so they're acting upon it in the second half. Let's see what happens. Their first use of the football, running left to right. Here at North Power Stadium. They're in possession once again. The Eagles nearing the halfway line. Muir still going. Solid run. Tuvey from acting half. Gap closed pretty quickly. Last tackle. Walker. Here's Kamali. Well taken. Billy Peden sort of in a floating position. That was forced out by Tuvey, I thought, and he's got possession back. Well, I thought there was a Tuvey hand in there. The referee didn't. Now Walker. Here's McDougall. He's thrown it on the ground. I thought that might have gone back as well. So maybe it's evened out.
I think justice has taken its toll there. The first instance certainly was forced out. I can't see how that's gone forward, but I agree with you, Mark. I think when Billy Peden had the ball, it was actually pushed out of his hands by Jeff Tuvey, and obviously the referee wasn't in a position to see it, and the touch judge didn't help either.
Davis now. Bailey, straight up the middle of the ruck. Easy meters there. Fence a little bit slack for the Northern Eagles. Here's Perry. Draws to about a metre short of the halfway line. Gidley cuts out Kennedy, goes to Hughes. Dougal comes up with a solid tackle with Kamali. Fourth tackle. Marquette. What a good tackle from O'Mealy. Gidley with the kick. A fine touch, will it? No, Reeves has to get there. Long pass. Oh, that must have floated close to forward. Ben Kennedy did, but he's forgotten about Menzies. He's got the fullback to beat. The cover comes, they run in each other's way. He's still going, Menzies. Well, Ben Kennedy was blowing up there to the touch judge, and Stephen Menzies has made the break. Now Evans. 40 metres out from the Newcastle line. Walker. Back inside to Menzies. Solid tackle, Badiris. Third tackle. Slow play the ball. There's Walker. Flat ball. Beckett. Albert with the tackle. Tamana Tahu there as well. Now Walker. Kamali. Back to Kamali from Stringer. The referee asking a question. Now plays on. McDougall. Ben making the run. Adam making the tackle. Here's the last. Kamali. Grubber again on the ground. Stephen Clark out of the way, please. He does. 20-metre restart. Well, they're keeping the ball on the ground, the Eagles, when they kick. They've made plenty of them. 7 grubber kicks tonight. Adam McDougall steps inside O'Mealy, away from Muir, away from Tuvey, links up with Gidley. Numbers here for the Knights. Billy Peden, Tamana Tahu, quick hands Albert. Beckett with good cover defence, slid well, and King came across also. Gidley, Rudder, Marquette, he's now tackled. 25 metres out from the line, right in centre field. They go right. Gidley, Tamana Tahu, inside King, ball on the ground, and the Eagles have come up with possession through Jeff Tuvey.
And that's a couple of times Tuvey's been able to do that. He's pretty hungry around that area, taking a lot of pressure off his teammates.
Here's O'Mealy. Driving tackle there from Ben Kennedy. Perry assists also. There's Ben Walker. It's tackle number 4. They're 12 short of halfway. Kamali's kicking. That'll be a 40-20. It's pretty close. Although the ball's not going to bounce towards touch. It's in the in-goal area. There's the chase. Menzies is up there. Save it to the kicker. Tuvey there as well. Davis beats Kamali, but not Tuvey. Adam McDougall. Take away from Muir. Flinging him to ground. 20 metres out. There's Marquette. Good tackle. There's Brett Kamali. Rudder. Peden. Straightens. Menzies with the tackle. He's done plenty of defensive work. In fact, the leading tackler for the Eagles now. Tahu. Flipped the ball back on the inside. There's no one there. He's passed the ball off the ground. The referee says play on. Newcastle players were signaling the referee to 6 to go instead of diving on the football. Now last tackle, Badiris, blindside dummies into space. Where's Albert? Here he is. The pass on the outside. In fact, it's Rudder on the wing, and they've come back for a forward pass.
And I can tell you, one man will be very happy. The referee has called it that way. Will be Steve Menzies.
And over.
Very slow off the ground. Around the marker area. Didn't chase. Terrific work. Great vision by Danny Badiris to spot the break. He took off. Vinnie Walker got back to try and give him assistance. Also missed it. Gee, there's not too much in that one.
Old boarding house scrape of butter, if anything. I don't think that was forward. It was flat for mine. And the Knights can feel a little bit aggrieved there, I think, with that one. Muir. Gives the Eagles now a chance to go on the attack. Tuvey, straight past Marquette. Kamali in support. Davis read it well, so too Kennedy to wrap him up. 10 out, right in front. Last tackle. Walker with the kick. Straight down the throat of Robbie O'Davis. He offloads to Gidley. Long ball to Hughes. Well, they had a chance there, the Eagles. Just not the kick they were looking for. There's Robbie O'Davis. 11 short of halfway. Okay, merely having a spell now for the Eagles. Perry. Here's Peden. Quick hands. Bailey. Tamana Tahu now. Comes back on the inside. Bailey in support. Doesn't use him. Still going. Had Albert on his outside unmarked, but the cover was there. Peden must score here. The Knights know. What a tackle. Brendan Reeves, a try saver. Rudder, long ball to Gidley. Last tackle. They must score here. Kennedy goes himself, gets the ball over, and the Knights have levelled it up again in Gosford. Ben Kennedy the try. It's 16-all with a kick to come.
And put it down to a great pass. Two of them involved in the movement. The first one to shift the ball across the field. The second one really drew in. Here's the first one coming across. Rudder throwing it. Have a look at this one. 3 defenders drawn in. Open spaces, not enough defenders available for the home side.
There was a very good decoy run by Robbie O'Davis coming in from fullback. He drew the outside Northern Eagles player in. And that left Ben Kennedy there to do the rest.
6th try for the season for Ben Kennedy. Must be a worry for Peter Sharp. The fact that the Eagles have missed quite a few tackles.
And I've got to say, it happened about 2 tackles short of almost scoring in the other corner. Brett Kamali, once again, was the man. He didn't so much miss the tackle on this occasion. He got completely lost. I don't think he expected the ball to be shifted wide so quickly. Caught him in no man's land. Almost had to back away.
And Billy Peden has given the Newcastle Knights the lead. There's Peter Sharp on the touchline. Newcastle 18, the Northern Eagles 16.
Set of 6, but well, they started this second half a lot better. They have dropped off in their defence, and you can't afford to do that against a side like Newcastle.
Long kick from Walker. Marquette brings it back. And as I mentioned, the Eagles have been missing some tackles. 15 so far. Look at those coming since half-time. About 6. They've missed 9 at half-time. Penalty in possession. And he's marched him 10.
He's standing up in front of you. I don't know whether you thought... hang on a minute. In my opinion, you were lying on his feet. You were wriggling around. You could have got up. Then you get up, you pull his feet right out front and give me no choice. Then you give me a gobful. So I march you 10 metres up the park, all right? That's the penalty.
They've been doing that for us.
Yeah, well, mate, it's the same both sides. Yeah. Shot it goal.
Well, this has got to go down as one of the dumbest penalties I've ever seen. He's got the football in his hand. There was no need for him to lift Brett Kimmorley's leg whatsoever. He should have concentrated on playing the football and getting the movement going forward.
Well, he's very disappointed about it, but gee, you have a look at that piece of film there. It takes away any excuse I think he offered to the referee about it. One would think on current form, Walker would find this a gift to level the scores up once again.
Then Walker, 4 from 5. Should make it 5 from 6. He does. So we're level once again. It's the Northern Eagles and the Newcastle Knights locked at 18 all. The football's gone out on the road. We've already got about 6 that are flat. We're going to run out soon. You haven't got any boot in the car, have you, Brett?
Well, I think that football, now it's gone out on the road, it'll be flat too.
Yes. Robbie O'Davis with the restart. There's one here at Gosford. There is no grandstand. Straight onto the road. Someone will have a nice souvenir. Driving defence. It's called held 3 times. Stephen Clark there. They've got to work the ball out from their own area. Tough work here, the Eagles. Here's Muir. Good offload back to Tuvey. Here's a bit of a roll for the Eagles. Keeping the ball alive. And interestingly, Josh Perry straight off the field after that infringement. Here's Walker with the kick. Knights. 32 out from their own line. Davis plays it. Here's McDougall again, straight at Tuvey. Oh, he just puts himself in the way, doesn't he? And he's not well, Jeff Tuvey, after that. Don't blame him either. Here's Gidley. Bailey. He's lost the ball, and the Eagles have come up with possession as Jeff Tuvey comes straight from the field after that tackle. They're a couple of metres short of halfway. Reeves from acting half. Trying to get a penalty there. I don't think the Knights were back the 10, particularly the markers. Bailey. It's Phil. This is Shane Dunley from acting half. Last tackle. Walker now. Kick back off the side of the boot deliberately. Kennedy off the ground, passing the ball to Billy Peden. It's fair enough, and he takes it out to the 20. Quick play the ball. McDougall takes it over the 30. Here's Simpson. 9 short of halfway. Parsons cut out. Gidley. Tahu. King makes a tackle. 10 metres into Eagles territory now. Parsons. Good offload. Back to O'Davis. keeps it alive, but it's on the ground. Picked up by Peden pretty well. Pushes away from one. Still going. Hughes now. Here's McDougall. How will he stay in the field of play? But he got the ball away, but Hughes can't hang on to it. And so Reeves has stepped into touch. That'll be a knock-on.
Knock on by the Knights.
And so the Eagles will have possession. McDougall had no room to move.
No, he didn't. He did very well to throw the ball back inside. But I think, Ben Walker did very well here. Very smart play. He didn't try and attempt to take the football. He waited for Hughes to grab it. And just as he got his hand there, he swung him to the ground, which forced the knock on. Very smart play.
Let's go.
Neither side wants to pack the scrum here.
Billy, Ben. Yep.
Lenny Beckett now.
That's one.
Davis made the tackle. Reeves thought it was high. Bailey now breaking from the scrum to have a hit up. Danny Badeiras slow to let him play the ball. 30 metres out from their own line, 35 metres out from their own line. The Eagles on the charge. There's a strong run from Stringer and puts his hands up straight away. Last tackle. Kamali. Another kick once again. Davis is back there. Kamali makes a solid tackle. 23 minutes to go. 18 all the score. And the Knights inside their own 20. Desperately trying to get the ball up the other end of the field. McDougall runs in at Lima and bounces away from him. Comes to the fullback and falls. 12 metres short of halfway. Here's Grief. Runs at Ben McDougall and goes high. He makes the tackle with Ben Walker. Long ball. Simpson. Now Tahu. Straightens. Menzies. Ball back inside to Peden. It was close. Peden tackled by Beckett. Last tackle here for Newcastle. Gidley, crossfield bomb. Miles under pressure, leaps high, takes it well. Ben McDougall almost grabbed the Newcastle chasers. He was lucky not to give a penalty away.
That Newcastle chaser just happened to be older brother Adam.
Go. Swing.
Lenny Beckett. Wayne Evans, he's lost it behind him. And it's been knocked on there. Is it Kamali or Dunley? I think it's Dunley. Tried to pick it up. It was.
Evans on that occasion found himself in mid-air, probably panicked a little bit, was starting to put the hands down.
Hold it, boys. Wait for
Think,
ball.
well, I've got to look after myself on the way down. Poor control, putting them under pressure. They really have condensed their attacking options in the last 10 minutes or so. They're not doing too much other than running one ruck wide of the ruck or running from dummy half.
There's Tahu one-on-one with Andrew King, who comes up with the tackle. It's Billy Peden. Lima there to make the tackle with Evans. A nervous time for him, hoping the Knights don't score, but they look dangerous here. Kennedy looking for a double tackle just a metre out from the line. Gidley acting half. Looked offside there. Here's the kick. McDougall gets the try. What thinking there from Matthew Gidley. Precision stuff, and the Knights are back in front.
Well, they're rolling with the punches at the moment, the Northern Eagles. They're probably feeling pretty good about just snuffing out a try. Desperation defence on a number of occasions. It looked for all money as though Kennedy was going to score. Put himself in the middle of nowhere, but had great vision. Gidley. Plenty of confidence in his supporting play.
Well, he certainly did have good vision. I always thought it was on the left-hand side, and I thought they'd blown it when Gidley had to go back 2 or 3 paces. But as you say, very good vision, a lot of confidence in his own ability and in the men around him, and it was a very good kick put through and a great chase by Adam McDougall.
The error from Wayne Evans. It's proved costly again. It's his second error that's led to a try tonight.
It's been the story of the game, really, hasn't it? I mean, every try that's been scored virtually come from an error made by the opposition.
And Billy Peden. Tough kick. As the Eagle moves out of the way, thank you. He struck it pretty well. It's going to just sneak in. It does. It could prove a very important 2 points for the Knights. They lead by 24 points to 18. Football, it's going to be who can hang on to the ball and who'll score next. I think if the Newcastle side score next, it'll be hard to see the Eagles coming back from that. And there's the crowd tonight, 18,344. Which is a beauty for the Northern Eagles. It's been a tough week for them. They'll be looking to finish with a win tonight. 6 points the difference, 19 to go. Here's Kennedy. 10 short of the halfway line. Badiris had no one to pass to, so goes himself. Kennedy, quick hands. Hughes, they'll turn this from nothing into something, will they? No. Dougal dropped the ball. Well, that almost came from nothing there. Badiris had nowhere to go, and all of a sudden down the short side, there was danger.
Well, it's amazing what a try can do. Suddenly, the Knights are playing with a lot more vigour and a lot more confidence. And as you say, Badiris really had nowhere to go. I think he was looking for Gidley to put the kick in, and of course couldn't find him. But unfortunately, it all came to an end.
Out.
Here's a chance now, the Eagles. Reeves, King. 5 short of the halfway line. Here's Lima. They're inside the final 20. So we're sure to see what sort of changes left there are. Both sides have 4 to go. Here's Dunley from acting half, inside to Kamali. Walker. Inside to Lima. 4th tackle here for the Eagles. Kamali. Running, still going. Offloads back to Reeves. Under pressure. Back to Dunley. Going nowhere there, the Eagles. Last tackle. Kamali's on the blind side. They come to him. Another grubber kick towards the in-goal area. It's a good one. McDougall has to take it over the dead ball line.
Now, that kick didn't lead to a try at all, but I've almost got to say that's probably his best kick of the game, Kamali's. They're fighting. They're trying to stay in the game. You can find a smile on his face. He's a bit more than 20 metres out from the line, and they are very small in-goal areas. O'Davis and also McDougall were close at hand, probably only 10 metres apart. The ball threaded in between the pair of them and stayed inside the in-goal area. Good chase. Forced them a dropout. They've got a chance now to be able to get back. They desperately need a try. Confidence is starting to sag.
Lima. Solid run, but the defence is strong. Billy Peden there. He's worked hard tonight, the captain. Dunley at acting half. Here's Bailey. There's the arm free. He couldn't get the ball away. As Gidley grabbed it. Kamali. Runners there, goes himself. Pushes away from Rudder, but Simpson comes again. Here's Dunley. Now Walker. Reeves. Turns the ball inside to Everall. Last tackle, 9 out. What can the Eagles come up with here? Kamali throws the dummy. It's on the ground. Walker kicks it off the ground. Here's Lima keeping it on the toe. It's bounced awkwardly. It's still going. I think the ball may have gone forward. Walker's dived on it. We're going to the video.
Well, it's a Volvo.
Well, the old pinball room, that one.
The referee calls it perfectly.
You got it. Everything.
Do your best to find something that was wrong. The fans here loved it. I think everybody did. Even the Newcastle players saw some amusement in it. They won't if a 4 point's been put down. But the point that we've got to look for is, did the ball travel forward? It was thrown back. You'll see it come after It came off a couple of players. It goes up into the air. It was carried. Did it go forward? Was the ball propelled forward? And I probably think, although he's facing backwards, you've got to say that the ball was propelled towards the try line.
Yes, it was unfortunate because I think, as you mentioned, well, it could have been a Volvo. Could have been a Volvo try, but you see just here, the kick goes in again. And that's where the ball floats forward. Walker, I think it is, puts another kick in. Goes in for the try, but I think it'll be called back for a knock-on.
No question there that it's gone forward from Shane Dunley. He did well, though, to keep persevering in chase. I think we'll come up with no try, knock-on, changeover.
And a lot of disappointed supporters.
I think Ben Walker knows. Here's the decision from Peter Filmer. No try, play the ball, which should be a changeover because that's the last tackle. And Ben Walker knew it, the smile there on the face.
Up you go, Ben. Yep. That's one.
As Ben Grieve tries to force his way forward. That's an important decision there. Trailing by 6, that would have locked it all up again. What odds are draw tonight? Billy Peden. Here's McDougall. Pops it back to Gidley. Coming around looking for support, goes forward. Paul Marquette back for the Newcastle Knights. Another penalty in possession.
That was a roll ball.
65 minutes gone, 6 points the difference, and they've given away a play the ball penalty. Well, he's made the effort. He made the attempt. Isn't that what they have to do?
Well, yeah, that's the way it is, but I still think that you've got to put your foot on the ball. There was no way in the world that, even though he made the motion that his foot was travelling that way, it was always going to be rolled back with the hand.
The Eagles have got an opportunity here. Kamali. Walker. Now McDougall. Ball there to Robert Miles. Back on the inside to Everall. He turned 22 yesterday. Today he scored a try, which could level the game. It's 2 points the difference. And the penalty has paid big time for the Knights.
The girls are happy, and, well, they should be. Got over the disappointment of a no-try to Ben Walker. As you mentioned, that penalty is going to pay off handsomely. Here's McDougall. His brother's outside, Mad Dog. Well, Mad Pup did even better. Tipped it back on the inside. Great support play. They're showing a little bit of keenness now.
Well, this is very good play by the back line. And you see McDougall, a nice little step back inside. But that's a great pass. I don't know whether he actually was 100% sure where it was going to go, but I'm sure he knew there was support on the inside. And that they've come up with a very good four-pointer, and hopefully for the Eagle supporters, they can turn that into 6 and level this ball game up once again.
Well, his first try in first grade, which is a tremendous achievement for him. As I said, he celebrated his birthday yesterday. Danny Lima, his first try in first grade. And now Greg Everall. Not often you have 2 players in the one team on the one night, in the one game, score their first grade game.
Well, not unless they're playing for the Queensland State of Origin side. I think that was the last time we saw a couple of debutants score their first tries in their first game.
Important kick here for Ben Walker. He struck it pretty well. He struck it very well. It's 24 all. We've already had 8 draws in 2001. 9's the all-time record. Could we equal it tonight?
There'll be a try scored within the last couple of minutes of this game. That'll win the game for the side.
The way we're going, it'll be a 30-all draw or something like that.
Well, that's a magnificent run by Mark O'Mealy. He's just pulled back 30 metres in the run. You just see how desperate they are at the moment to break this losing streak.
Muir. Won 8 in a row, the Knights. But they have a great record, the Northern Eagles. When I say great, they've only played them 3 times. They've won 2 of the 3 against Newcastle. And they've never lost a game, the Northern Eagles, with Stephen Clark as referee. Here's Kamali into space. Reeves, Muir on his inside. He's got the ball. He won't have the pace. He gets the ball away. How did he do that to Ben Walker? That's a miracle. And the New Northern Eagles have hit the lead. I saw it, but I can't believe it.
Well, there's plenty of guys that you can put credit to their names in this try. I mentioned O'Mealy, that wonderful charge. Kamali, a terrific charge up the middle. That's a trademark of his game. But I've got to say, I didn't think Muir was any chance of getting close to the line. There it is. Roll it down the length of the arm. The eggs come off the hand. Right under the post. What a move.
Oh, this was a fantastic rugby league try. It had everything in it. Good stepping, good passing, good backing up. This is unbelievable by Adam Muir. No one would have thought he could have got the ball away. But again, you've got to give a bit of credit there to Ben Walker, because he had the confidence in the fact that Muir was going to be able to unload a football.
Yeah, and there are 2 or 3 players on the right-hand side of Muir at that stage. So the support that's on board at the moment really just show the desperation that's on board the Eagles camp at the moment. Walker with the chance to put them 6 points clear.
And they are. The Northern Eagles, pretty sharp. They're getting a little bit toey at the moment. 6 points the difference inside the final 10 minutes.
How's your draw looking now, Mark?
Well, I said 30 all. I wonder how many balls they got left, because that one's gone out of the ground as well.
I was going to say we've lost another one.
It's already been well documented during the week. They're in a little bit of financial problem, the Eagles. And they're going to buy 2 more balls. They scored a try from the kickoff. 2 tries in about 4 minutes. The Knights will be shell-shocked. They're looking for 9 in a row, as I mentioned. They haven't had the ball much lately. The Stringer brings it forward. He's hurt. Fell awkwardly. Play on, says the referee now, as he gets to his feet. Just over the halfway line. Kamali, after he kicked, player Badiris was in the air, took a strong blow. Now here are the Knights. What can they do? They need a good set of 6 here. There's still 8 minutes to go. The Eagles still with that edge in possession, 56 to 44%. Brief now. Tried to run over Dunley. Stringer seems to have recovered from the ankle problem. Off the chest there of Gidley. Menzies made the tackle. Last it is for Newcastle. O'Davis from acting half. Reeves takes it well. The chasers were all onside. Beckett grabbed by the collar. Tamana Tahu. Beckett's injured in back play for the Eagles.
And this is where the big men for the Northern Eagles have got to come into their own now, Mark. They can't afford to get bogged down in this area of the football field despite a 6-point lead. They've got to get the team on the front foot to allow Kamali's kicking game to gain good field position.
There's O'Mealy. Beckett's in all sorts of trouble. He can't get out on the wing to help the chase here. The kick goes down to O'Davis, and it's a beauty too. And the chase is good. What about the pass from O'Davis to Adam McDougall? He fell awkwardly there in the tackle, and I think he's hurt his ankle. Ben Walker's hurt his shoulder.
Not as bad as McDougall's done his ankle, I think. He was in strife straight away. Ben Walker starting to come towards the sideline. I think he might know that.
Do you want to? Okay, bring it out here.
He's a little bit wobbly as well.
Hey, he wants to play it.
The 11th change being made by the Northern Eagles. And we've also got Walker in real strife on the wing now. Just watch that ankle. Oh, get caught underneath in Ben Walker's tackle. And he hurt his shoulder at the same time.
He's down getting treatment here. Lenny Beckett's come off the field. At the same time, I see him just stop there. Sean Rudder wanted to play the ball and continue play. And so Stephen Clark asked the trainer whether he was all right. Ben Kennedy blew up saying, we've got an injured player on the field, got an injured player. Stephen Clark said, well, it's your bloke that wants to play it, argue with him. There's Walker, that's that left shoulder. Just holding it a bit gingerly there. Trying to get some feeling.
Yeah, just looking at the replay there, Mark, it's hard to work out how Ben Walker's actually injured the left shoulder because he made the tackle on the right shoulder, but he didn't seem to fall on the left shoulder at all.
Right up behind him.
Yeah, Ben McDougall just going in there to see his brother. It doesn't look good.
Yeah, it doesn't look too flash at all. McDougall's a guy that plays with a great deal of passion and pride in his game. He wouldn't take it too easily to getting help from the field by a medicab, but just have a look at his right ankle as it comes in. That step there goes underneath, right underneath. You can see the expression on his face, the agony that went straight through him.
Yeah, he's coming through him.
And he's in a bit of trouble. I'm sure that it's not just Newcastle coach Michael Hagan that's probably feeling concerned at the moment, Brett. Maybe New South Wales State of Origin selectors.
Yeah, I was just going to say that the New South Wales selectors would be looking at this and would be very concerned because it doesn't look good at all, and you'd have to say that at the moment he would not be available for the New South Wales selection, and that would be a very big loss for the state side.
Absolutely. Well, and what you've got to say would be a huge loss for the state side. I think there's probably a number of St George Illawarra Dragons fans that would say, as much bad luck as it's going to be for McDougall, it could be the green light that Nathan Blacklock has been looking for. Let's hope, though, and I'm sure all rugby league fans would wish that it's certainly not a serious injury to McDougall, a valuable player at club, interstate and also international level.
He's in a fair bit of pain there. Adam McDougall. Looks like Julian Bailey's come on to replace him. There he is, Julian Bailey. Adam McDougall coming from the field. Ben Walker has moved back to his 5'8" position, is it? Yep. Closer to the ruck. It's been a big night for him, 18 points, 149 for the season. He's equalled the club record tonight for the most points in a game. He already holds that with 18. So he's got that twice. He has 6 minutes to get more. Here's Peden. Kennedy on his inside. And Ben McDougall comes up with a good tackle. Let's have a look at the changes. The Knights have none left. The Eagles one. We've got 6 minutes to go. There aren't too many healthy bodies on the bench for Newcastle. Here's the kick from Gidley. It's in open space. The bounce was awkward. And Reeves is going to return it. Is he? No. Well, Hughes made the tackle. Now Dunley. Richard Peter Sharp is wanting them to play like this every week. Wayne Evans. 5.5 to go. North Power Stadium. It's the Eagles over the Knights by 6. And what about the run there from Stringer?
They've got a couple of rucks to go. You'll just see what their plans are. If they take it up the middle, you can almost bank on a Kamali one-pointer coming up.
Here we go. Wally, will it be now? Here's Kamali. There it is. It's on its way. It's gone to the left, I think. Just.
And great pressure. Terrific pressure being put on by Ben Kennedy. just couldn't get to the ball, but got there quick enough to make sure that Kamali rushed it. Didn't get enough time.
Derrick's just slowing play down inside the final 5. Here at North Power Stadium. One of the attendants here that shows you your seat at North Power. It was very nice and quiet when we arrived. He's now in front of the crowd here in the main stadium, revving them into a frenzy. He's getting very excited. Here's Bailey. Rudder. No one in support. So now Gidley. Back to Rudder. They're going nowhere here, the Knights. Right up. Need somebody to go forward. Last tackle. Gidley. We're going to run it. Kennedy. Hughes. Now he kicks. Inside for Kennedy. Back to Tamana Tahu for the corner. Off an Eagle player. Back to Kennedy. That should be play on. He improves the position. Wait for the decision. We're going to the video. The touch judge is back in the field of play.
I want to check onside of the kick, Pete.
Well, I think he'll check just about everything here. Brett Kamali shrugging his shoulders. He doesn't know too much about it. But that's what good football teams do. We spoke about it before the game. Their desperation, what they're able to do in tight situations. They've been able to get out of jail on a number of occasions. Shifting the ball across. Mark Hughes did very well. Kicked it off his right foot, a little bit back in field. Bad luck for Ben Walker, who slipped. Some great desperation. The ball thrown back inside. There is a little bit of conjecture as to whether Kennedy grounded the ball there or whether he should be allowed to continue back in field to place the ball, which would make the kick a lot easier, around about 7 or 8 metres easier. Question over whether Kennedy was in front there. From that angle, it's very difficult to say. He was further asked whether Kennedy was in front when the ball was thrown. This will give us a better angle. Being offside from the kick. Well, there is definitely a player offside, so I suppose what we've got to look for in that player there is he within 10 metres of the football? They may be prepared to let it ride over, saying that he actually took no part in the play whatsoever. Probably the fairish thing to do, to say that he wasn't anywhere near it. He certainly didn't have any other option.
I think it's a try, but where did he force it? The first time or the second time? I think it's the second time, and that's a try. Brett Kenny has made his way down to the touchline. Made his way down to the touchline. Could be a draw. There's the try. He's second for the night to Ben Kennedy, and what a kick for Billy Peden.
Now there's an argument going on with the players.
Hey, just have a quiet. Paul Stringer, you can come out here too. And for your information, we checked that with the video referee as well, where the ball was grounded. The decision was he didn't ground it there, he improved the position legally. So that was legitimate. The try was there where the try's been given.
I just asked him what was the decision. He said
he didn't ground the ball. The ball was grounded here. That was the decision. Good on you.
Well, this is the kick for Billy Peden. Here's the try again. It came from nothing. There was nothing on there. They had the numbers again there, Wally. The Eagles in defence. But just that ability to keep the ball alive from Newcastle. Here's Billy Peden with the conversion attempts. 18 out, 12 in from touch. He's going to hit the upright and the crossbar. I don't believe what I've seen. I do not believe what I've seen. It hit the upright and then the crossbar and went out. Wow.
Unbelievable. What a great kick. It was curling around, you've got to say that. Oh, boy.
Well, Wally, you've been involved with football a lot longer than I. Have you ever seen that?
Well, I've seen that happen a couple of times, but I've never seen it when it's been 30 to 28. and the goal kick was going to even the scores. I've seen that quite a few times, but nothing like in a pressure situation that we have in front of us at the moment. Still 2.5 minutes to go. Expect some desperation from Newcastle. A couple of their players that will feature in it are the guys that can respond with brilliant handling under pressure. Have a look for Matthew Gidley. There will also, I'm sure, be a little bit of Tamana Tahu. His play in there as well under pressure is always to be respected by opponents.
To the diff, 2 to go. What a game at Gosford. Here's Gidley. Can they stop the unbeaten run of Newcastle, the Northern Eagles, and breathe life back into their season? 15 short of halfway. Here's the captain, Billy Peden. While they've got the football, they are at danger here, Newcastle. Davis. Gidley, Bailey into space. Kamali comes up with a tackle. Last tackle here for Newcastle. Gidley, Ryder with the chase. It goes towards touch, and it goes into touch. And Ryder and Reeves have a little bit of a disagreement in the in-goal area.
Well, I think that's frustration from Ryder more so than anything else.
Scrum here, boys.
What a great kick from Gidley. Couldn't have positioned that any better. Well, you could just see that just a little bit dirty at the end there. You expect it to be that with just over a minute's play left. You'll probably get the 6 rucks in and a clearing kick. They've got to make sure that they come up with a very good chase play, because have a look who will be bringing the ball back. Robbie O'Davis.
50 seconds remaining. Here's Evans. He just succumbs to the tackle. O'Mealy now. Marquette with the tackle. 40 seconds to go. They lead by 2. Miles, Tuvey wants Hughes to be penalised for being offside. Doesn't come. Now here's Stringer. 30 seconds to go. Last tackle.
Kamali's got to try and put it over the touchline now. Burn up 20 or 30 seconds.
Here's Kamali under pressure. He's got to get the kick away. He does. Kennedy's back there. He runs at Tuvey. 15 seconds to go. 5 short of the halfway line. Gidley. Here's Tamana Tahu. He's lost the ball. Stolen. That was stolen by Miles. No. The referee said it was knocked on. It's gone into touch, and that's the full-time siren in the background. The Northern Eagles have scored a courageous win by 30 points to 28 at North Power Stadium, and they've ended the Newcastle Knights' run of 8 consecutive victories.
What a wonderful game of football. A lot of people will probably say that the game deserved to be a draw. Well, it had everything else to be complimented right on the full time, I suppose, or a couple of minutes before it, by one of the most extraordinary kick-at goals you'll see in a rugby league game. Off a post, a crossbar, disappointment everywhere. Delight to the Northern Eagles players, in particular Ben Walker. Matty Gidley not quite so happy, but they can feel pretty proud of the way that they've carried the club's flag over the last 8 weeks.
The crowd streams onto North Power Stadium, so we better head down quickly to Brett Kenny. He is down there with Billy Peden.
Well, Billy, you're going for a record. 9 straight wins. Unfortunately, it didn't happen tonight.
Yeah, you know, it was just one of those things we